This is Coyote News.
Tonight on Coyote Sports, the volleyball team prepares for the Summit League tournament, and the Cardiac Coyotes fall in another thriller. I'm Celeste LaCoursiere.
And I'm Devin Reiners. The men's and women's basketball teams are off to hot starts, and they opened up the new arena with victories. But first, Nathan Finster has our headlines. Nathan?
The USD volleyball team travels to Denver this weekend for the Summit League tournament. The Coyotes earned a share of their regular season title with wins against Denver and SDSU over the weekend. The Coyotes are the 2 seed in the tournament, giving them a first round bye. They'll play the winner between NDSU and IUPUI Saturday evening. The championship game is Sunday afternoon at 2. We'll be in Denver with team coverage, but be sure to check out Coyote News Facebook and YouTube pages for highlights and updates throughout the weekend. And each game will be broadcast on KOR Coyote Radio. Trey Burke-Manning and Allison Ahrens took home Men's and Women's Summit League Player of the Week honors. Trey recorded back-to-back double-doubles in the Coyote wins over Drake and Bowling Green. Allison scored a career-high 28 points against Southern Illinois Edwardsville and scored 21 points against Stephen F. Austin. USD sophomore libero Lauren Matson was named the Summit League Defensive Player of the Week. She tallied a career-high 27 digs against Denver and recorded a game-high 17 digs against rival SDSU. Madison ranks 4th in the conference with just under 5 digs per set. And those are your headlines.
Thanks, Nathan. The Coyote football team looks to send the season on a high note Saturday as they host the 4th-ranked Bison from NDSU. The Coyotes are coming off another close loss at the hands of in-state rival SDSU. The game was tied at 21 in the 4th quarter, but a Miles Bergner missed field goal gave way to the Jackrabbits. SDSU quarterback Taryn Christian scrambled for a 7-yard touchdown run, giving the Jacks a 7-point lead with under 5 minutes to play. USD quarterback Chris Strevler would throw an interception in the closing seconds to give SDSU a 28-21 victory.
The swimming and diving teams preparing for their next meet at St. Cloud State in Minnesota. Coyote News' Heath Nimke's live in the muck with a sophomore diver to discuss the season so far. Heath?
This season is almost halfway through, and I'm joined here with diver Brady Saunders to talk about the season so far. Thanks for joining us today, Brady. How did you get ready for this season at the beginning of the season?
We all just started working hard in the weight room and keeping our team chemistry together and just overall bonding as a team to make sure we really don't leave anyone out and making sure, checking in with each other to make sure we're all at the best we can be for the season.
How are you getting ready for St. Cloud this weekend?
We're all just hitting the grindstone, training hard in the weight room, like not backing off on that, and really getting gearing down for our taper before we go to Minnesota. And yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be a good to see what we can do before midseason.
How are you guys getting ready for the rest of the Summit League and the rest of this season?
Just mostly continuing to encourage each other and just make sure we have each other's backs and ensure that we all do our best.
Explain to me a little about how the swimming season works, how it's so much longer than the rest of the seasons. How does that help you guys become better, or how does it even make an effect on you?
It usually it gives us just a lot of experience at the swim meets to really dial down and see what works for us as a team and as individuals to make sure that we can do our events the best we can and to make sure we can try to beat the other teams as best we can.
Perfect. Thank you, Brady.
Thank you.
The swimming and diving team is in action this weekend in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Live in the muck, I'm Heath Nimke.
Thanks, Heath. After winning the WNIT championship last season, the women's basketball team looked to start the new year 2-0. The Coyotes started off the game strong, taking an early lead, but Stephen F. Austin wouldn't go away, tying the game at 31 late in the first half. But in the final 2 minutes of the half, the Coyotes would use a 7-0 run to take a 38-31 lead into the break. The second half was much like the first, both teams exchanging buckets, but the Yotes would come out on top with an 80-74 victory. The win moves the Coyotes to 2-0 on the season. Tomorrow night they take on the Razorbacks in Arkansas. The men's basketball team opened the new arena with a victory against Bowling Green on Sunday. The win was the second in 3 days for the Coyotes, who were coming off a 79-74 win at Drake Friday night. Bowling Green took an early 20-13 lead, but the Coyotes closed the first half on a 10-0 run, giving them a 33-27 halftime advantage. It was much of the same for the Coyotes early in the second half as they extended their lead to 13. But the Falcons came flying back, taking a 67-62 lead with just 5 minutes remaining. The rest of the game was all Coyotes, outscoring Bowling Green 16-15 down the stretch on their way to a 78-72 victory. The Coyotes remain at home this week, taking on Presentation College tonight and hosting Doane tomorrow evening.